So let's look at the overarching approach and the why. Kind of a review here. I refuse to run a program that kids hate. I just refuse it. Going back to B.J. Stevens at Purdue, I hate track. He hates track 6 days a week. Well, happy and healthy is non-negotiable. It's just non-negotiable in my program. I believe the 400 is a sprint. Oh, by the way, the 10-meter fly is the key performance indicator of sprinting. How fast your miles per hour is will be the key performance indicator in the 400. If you can run 25 miles an hour like Marcellus can, you're going to be good in the 400. Boys track teams that don't attract football players will consist of band kids, distance runners, and nerds. Now, this really pisses off a lot of people, and I'm trying to be half funny here, but it's true. Now, I was in a 400-meter debate with Ryan Banta, the author of the Sprinter's Compendium, and this pissed him off, and he said, I want all those kids, band kids, some of my best kids I ever had. And I'm saying the same thing. I told you, Tommy Harris played the trumpet in the band. I want all kids. I want nerds. I want them all. However, I want football players really bad because they are tough and fast and competitive. I think too many track coaches are kind of, come from a cross-country environment and they don't get in good with the football program. That's sad. In Illinois, your fastest athlete can easily run 4 short sprints. And the 4x2 precedes the 400. So, geez, I think that with the sprints being so important in Illinois, it's kind of silly not to really focus on speed. And the last thing in the overarching feed the cats approach is that cats really don't like to run. So we don't ever run more than 200 meters in practice. We never take a warm-up lap. We do not do tempo runs. All those things. Let's talk about what Clyde Hart believed in the off season. And you may be wondering, well, why are we so focused on the Clyde Hart stuff? I think that when you compare and contrast, we're allowing our minds to really consider both things. That not only should we learn what I think we should do, but also we are learning what other people do. So in September through December, Clyde Hart believed in building the aerobic base. And this is the traditional approach to, I think, all training, is that we need the aerobic base. And it all comes back to this paragraph that I think is in every textbook for strength and conditioning and all that stuff. It basically says that without a good aerobic base, an athlete will struggle to recover during high-intensity exercise. The body's low-intensity aerobic energy systems help our high-intensity systems, ATP, PC, and anaerobic glycolysis, recover and prepare for our next bout of activity. Because of this paragraph, every football coach, not Feed the Cats football coaches, but the old school football coaches would do tons of conditioning all summer to prepare for the season. And same thing with track coaches, that we have to build up the aerobic system in order to allow our ATP, PC, and anaerobic glycolysis systems to work well. I disagree, but anyway, so let's go through sample workouts. This comes directly from a Clyde Hart Clinic handout. So warm up, remember I said we do not do a 1-lap warm up. Well, Clyde does a 1-mile warm up. Flexibility exercises, we don't do them. 2 times 600. This is for 400 meter training, by the way. This is this is not training 800 guys. 3 300s, 3 more 300s, and another mile. So sandwiched between 2 1-mile runs, they have done quite a bit of work here. Let's see. Let's do the math. That's 1,200 plus 900. That's 2,100. That's 3,000 meters of work. That's a hard practice. Well, maybe that's just their hard day, and they'll come back with an easy day the next day. Oh, by the way, they did weights too afterwards. Forgot to say that. So, everything looks the same. Oh, now we go 10 times 200. 30 seconds rest. And then some long hill runs. So that was pretty big. Well, maybe Wednesday they're going to back off. They like those 1-mile runs. 4 times 350, 48-second pace. That, by the way, 48-second pace. All of his numbers are based on 46-second quarter milers. 46 seconds. I mean, we're talking about really fast guys here. So if you're doing a 350 in 48, that's highly submax. In my opinion, that's pretty close to tempo running. And then a little bit of speed stuff. And then more 200s. Cool down. And then they do weights. So now they've done weights on Monday and Wednesday. So it doesn't look like they're going to back off any. 1-mile run. That's your basic old ladder, 6-4-2-4-6. I wondered how my high school coach knew about that. I remember doing those like once a week, and he probably got them from Clyde. 6 times 100-meter strides, rest 1 minute, and another cool down mile. I would say the volume in all 4 of the days so far has been very similar. Friday, a 2-mile cross-country run. My kids have never run a lap, let alone a 2-mile. So Friday's a different kind of thing. Monday through Thursday were very similar. Friday, more like a cross-country workout. And then, instead of giving them a weekend off, it wasn't mandatory, but an encouraged 3-mile run. Remember, this is like Michael Johnson. These are the good 400-meter guys. And then an encouraged 20-mile or 20-minute fartlek run on Sunday. So no days off, tons of work. So we're talking from September to December. They did no sprint training at all. That one day they said 50 fast and then 200, but that's not sprint training like we do it. When we do it, we are trying to approach speeds that have never been speeds that have never happened with an athlete. Spiked up, timed, record, rank, publish. The fastest pace all week was a 27-second 200. That's a 54-second 400 pace with guys that run 46s. I think this is a fact, and the only thing I can say about Clyde is if you are recruiting All-Americans, maybe they've peaked speed-wise and you don't worry about that anymore. Maybe. 23 miles of running in 7 days. 23 miles. And if athletes do their encouraged weekend runs, there are no days off. All these things are as far from Feed the Cats as I can imagine. Remember, I created Feed the Cats in response to Clyde Hart training. Obviously, his cats ran, but typically the cats that I've known, they don't like running. If I said, hey, we're running 23 miles this week, my cats wouldn't want to be on the team. So how in the hell was this successful? I would say the incredible charisma of Clyde Hart had a lot to do with it. that really great coaches can get by with so much. The tradition and culture of Baylor University, winning begets winning. That's an absolute fact. I'd say the recruitment of the fastest high school athletes in the country wanting to work hard had a lot to do with it as well. Every great coach is only as good as his athletes. And I've said it before, but I think the really great athletes are almost coach-proof. You know, that they can train in really dumb ways and still be highly successful. So now that you've seen the Clyde Hart model for an off season, let's see the Feed the Cats model for an off season. We are going to build speed reserve. In other words, we're just going to try to get as fast as we possibly can get. The reason why we build this speed reserve is that if you train at 100 miles an hour, 80 feels comfortable. Here, Marcellus Moore is running his first race of the year, his junior year, and you can tell he's just cruising. And this is the 400. He's just cruising. And I think if you train slow, then if you train at 60 miles an hour, 80 miles per hour, it's going to wear your ass out. It's not going to go well for you. And it's kind of interesting to break 47 in the 400. You have to average 19 miles an hour. 19 miles an hour for 400 meters. Well, like I said earlier, Marcellus pretty sure in races had hit 25 miles an hour. So that is so sub-max for a great sprinter. And what that tells me is you want to get everybody's mile per hour as high as you can get it. This is Ernie Clark, and I'm going to show you a brief clip from Ernie from a coach's clinic. And it's outstanding.
Okay, why is speed key over fitness or strength? Take a look. Michael Johnson, world record holder. He goes out in 11:10. The guy that overtook his record, he went out in 10:70. Somebody's running faster. Second 100, Michael Johnson's at 10:12. Second 100, he's at 980. Faster. The third 300, 1044 versus 1050. Michael Johnson is running faster than Nykirk did in the third 100. In the fourth 100, 1152. Nykirk, 1203. Nykirk ran drastically slower in the last 100, but still got the world record. So my question is, when did he win it? In the first 200 meters. That's what you got to understand. You win races. You set PRs normally by running faster, using your speed early in the first 100 to 200 meters. So if your athlete doesn't have enough speed to get to a certain level, then you're in trouble. So what do you need to go back and work on? More strength, more endurance? Answer is no. You better figure out how to make them faster too. 50, 100, 150, and 200.